Unit 11 has explored globalization, particularly the period from 1995 to the present. What is globalization? Globalization is a complex term that refers to diverse, cross-cutting branches of economic, cultural, and technological integration. Because the term is so multifaceted and is used in divergent ways to describe discrepant phenomena, globalization sows considerable confusion and is difficult to bring into focus. The controversy concerning the World Trade Organization has additionally politicized the issue of globalization, with critics and boosters often talking past each other or invoking different examples to justify their support or criticism for the global capitalist system. The 5 revolutions of globalization. The most recent chapter of globalization was facilitated by 5 interlocking revolutions that germinated and matured inside the post-war world. The current system of global capitalism was facilitated by simultaneous revolutions in transportation, manufacturing, finance, electronics, and communications. While these revolutions intersected in complicated ways, they generally accelerated global integration during the post-war period. The architecture of the world system. The 1944 Bretton Woods Conference laid the foundation for the modern world economy, but until the 1970s, the overwhelming majority of trade was between developed economies. The 1990s marked a critical turning point when the world community reached a consensus concerning neoliberal reforms enshrined in the World Trade Organization, with new international and bilateral agreements enhancing the market integration and creating a spike in the volume of global trade. Acceleration of global integration. Although global integration is a longer historical movement, the pace, scope, and nature of the global integration continues to rapidly accelerate. No matter what index you take, global trade, tourism, or communications, the world is becoming increasingly interconnected. Growth and poverty. Over the last 2 decades, the neoliberal system of the World Trade Organization has spurred economic growth. But to date, increases in national wealth have done little to advance or to alleviate the index of poverty, so that globalization is creating more polarized societies in both the North and South. Certain global cities have emerged as key beneficiaries of the global capitalist system, while many rural areas of the developing world have been left behind. Market liberalization has increased the income and power for global corporations, high-tech workers, and Western consumers, while adversely affecting manual laborers, small farmers, and rural workers, who have often seen their security and standard of living reduced. Uneven development. The last 2 decades of globalization under the World Trade Organization reveal that global integration is not proceeding evenly. Southeast Asia and Central Europe have seen their living standards climb due to neoliberal reforms, while Africa, easternmost Europe, Central Asia, and Latin America have lagged behind and have only partially benefited from liberalization. The free movement of goods and capital has also been accompanied by new immigration restrictions and border procedures to limit illegal immigration, while human trafficking in various forms has boomed. The world's economic integration has been then 2-tiered. on one hand, lowering trade barriers and tariffs to allow capital and high-skilled workers to move around more freely, while also tightening restrictions on refugees and illegal immigrants, as well as enhancing border security. Cultural spillover. The World Trade Organization was created to liberalize trade and investment in order to integrate national economies. But this has amplified an existing trend towards cultural integration. In particular, the World Trade Organization has facilitated the penetration of global brands and companies into the developing world, which projects different values into traditional societies, while disrupting the national economy and undermining traditional economic groups. Economic and cultural security reinforce each other, as throughout the globe various sectarian movements have sought to manage globalization and control the various forces that are undermining their community and way of life. Globalization's central paradox. Globalization is transforming the post-war world order in complex ways, but on balance, neoliberal integration is undermining the sovereignty of nation-states, while promoting regional economic integration and institutions of local government, bringing various cultural realms into convergence while also spawning increasingly more vocal demonstrations of ethnic identity. Ecological sustainability. Over the short term, globalization has on average increased the concentration of wealth inside countries, while sharpening the division between the developed North and the underdeveloped South. Throughout the developing world, neoliberalism and direct foreign investment has often resulted in crony capitalism, where corrupt authoritarian states use the concession system to divert national resources towards multinational corporations. The concession system tends to create a pattern of short-term growth and unsustainable resource exploitation. But it seems doubtful that the biosphere can survive this plundering over the longer term, or that this growth will increase freedom, material prosperity, or help the poor over the longer time horizon. Globalization's discontents. The pace of structural change and the unprecedented mixing of cultural ideas and values sows instability in the world. The middle class in developed countries, the poor in the third world, and traditional communities in the Islamic world and other places have all felt the negative effects of globalization and have developed various strategies for resisting it, from boycotts to popular demonstrations of militancy.